Alright, what's up guys? Today is a little bit of a different video. Obviously I'm talking to you, but this is because I am actually changing up how I work with cards completely. A lot of that is because I have been stuck with prospects cards for too long a lot of times. Instead of just selling, I hold them, and it's just to the point where like I have so many cards that I've like purchased and they're bricks. They're just sitting here because I'm not selling them. So I've actually started selling a lot again, which has definitely helped me out because it's allowed me, especially now that I'm in college, I don't have a job. That's allowed me to purchase more cards to invest in, which is why I got all the RJ Barrett and some of the other guys that I purchased. So the thing that I'm going to be switching up is I'm going to limit the number of players that I buy for each sport. So I'm probably going to just do football every once in a while. I probably won't even buy 5 people. But for baseball and basketball, I'm going to buy the 5 players each, which I kind of have an idea who I'm going to purchase already. For basketball, baseball, I have no idea, besides one, which I will talk about the 5 players that I'm investing in 2 separate videos. But the reason that I'm doing this is just because it's a lot safer for me, and if I can focus on these guys that I know, like these cards are going to go up, especially because we're in the off season for the NBA. Like I was buying RJ Barrett, like those cards I could sell right now for profit just because I got them at such cheap prices by sniping auctions. So my new philosophy is I'm going to try to make money off of those purchases and basically flip when the hype is increased. So when RJ Barrett starts playing, he has a couple 20-point games, plays on a bad team, he's in a huge market, and that, like, the hype alone for this guy, if he has a couple good games, those cards are going to go up again. And even if they don't, I can still profit. Even right now with him not playing for months because they didn't even make the playoffs in the bubble. So I'm really in a no-lose situation. I could just sell now and double my money for most of those lots, probably triple for a couple of them. But I'm not going to do that because what do I have? 2 or 3 months until the NBA's back. They're either coming back in December or January, so I know that basketball is coming back soon. But I'm going to stick to 5 guys for each sport because otherwise I get a little bit too froggy and happy, and I will go and purchase cards of players that do end up normally going up, but I just buy way too many cards at one time. So, like I said, 5 for each sport. And what I'm going to do with this money is, obviously I'm going to put a little bit of it back into more cards to invest in, which obviously that's more of like a short-term, let's get some cards, let's make a little bit of cash. The rest of that money is, if I can get good enough at this, I want to actually just use the money like for myself a little bit, but most of it I'm going to actually I'm going to be investing in vintage cards. And a lot of people on my TikTok have been asking, oh, when are you going to get into vintage cards? You need to get into vintage cards. And after doing a little more research, I am now looking into which cards or players, vintage cards that I want to purchase. So I think I want to start off with baseball, and I'm looking at, I think, 3 different guys. I've been really into looking at pop reports, prices of cards, because I can't spend a ton of money on these cards. But I'm also buying pre-1970 because a lot of these cards are extremely limited, and a lot of them are still extremely cheap, which is very surprising to me for guys who are top 10 on the home run leaderboard all time. So I'm going to start with baseball. Football, I wanted to get a Bart Starr, but those cards are really expensive. That's probably going to be later on down the line, but I want to start. It's kind of like diversifying because my long-term holds haven't truly been long-term holds. My LeBron and like the Trout second-year card and the Giannis rookie I have, those are going to be long-term holds. And those are going to be like actual long-term holds. Like I said, Tatis was going to be a long-term hold, which I would have held him for a long time, but I decided I would rather put my money into guys that are going to hold a ton more value long-term, because these cards, yeah, they're probably going to go up, but there's going to be highs and lows in the card market, and I don't want to end up getting Tatis now, and like, especially with how many more cards there are. Like, if you look at vintage cards of the certain player I'm looking at, I can get a PSA 7 for $400, and it's a true rookie card. It's PSA 7, and it's from it's from the early 60s or late 60s. So this is before the overproduction of cards, and there's less than 2,000 for each grade. 7s, it's like 1,200. 8, it's like a little over 1,000. 9, it's like in the hundreds, and then there's like 19 10s or something like that. So those cards long term are going to hold a lot more value. But the biggest thing for me is, even if Tatis ends up being like one of the best baseball players of all time, it's just more risky. So I'm going to have my little side 5 players each sport, make money off that, but I'm going to reinvest that into cards that are going to hold more value long term, because it's kind of like the S&P 500. People like buying normal stocks, and they can sell their stocks, buy their stocks, and they can make quick money. But people who put their money in the S&P 500, if you keep putting money into it, it's going to keep growing over time. It's going to keep increasing. So when I'm investing in these cards, I don't even expect them to go up $100 in the next couple of years. And I'm fine with that, because I know over time, just because with how limited the supply is, and how, I'm looking at some of the greatest hitters of all time in the MLB, and their cards are still extremely undervalued, because the hype isn't there. Because obviously we have a lot of guys don't even know about the cards that I'm looking at, or the players that I'm looking at. They don't even know that these people existed, a lot of them. And it's just the hype. I'm going to use the hype to my advantage to make my quick flips, like RJ Barrett and Tatis, who I've also made a lot of money on. But the biggest thing for me is I just want to have a happy medium of both, because if I keep doing I'm going to buy this guy and flip and flip and flip, I have nothing that's just sitting there marinating for years. And that's what I really want. I also think it would be sick to start a vintage collection. I'm still going to have my normal collection, but I am selling some Keston Hiura. As you can see up there, it's looking a little bare, because obviously I have one Tatis here. The other Tatis I'm about to sell as well. And we have our Yelich rookie, which I'll just keep. We have our Hero rookie auto, keeping that. I'm not sure about the Lux. If Lux can break out, I'm going to sell that, just because it's a gold label from SGC. So obviously, those are hard to get. And then I have a Jonathan Taylor auto, which is that's 100% PC, because I didn't get him in his NFL uniform. If I wanted to possibly have it go up in value later on, I would have purchased him in his Colts uniform, but I did not. So that's kind of my philosophy here, guys. So I'm selling the majority of my collection, and I feel like that's best for me, especially because I've been spending too much on sports cards in general, and I have made a lot of money off of it, but a lot of times, my investments aren't I'm buying now and I'm going to sell in a week or two. Normally it's I'm buying now, but I'm selling those RJ Barretts 3 months from now. So I can't keep buying cards and waiting that long, because I have nothing coming back in. So that's why I'm trying to kind of get a happy medium of both, because it'll also be a lot less stressful, and I can also a bigger audience can watch me, because now I can talk to the guys who like flipping, ripping, because I'm still going to be ripping. I'm actually starting to do breaks, so look out for that. I'm going to try to do my first break the end of this week, which I'm going to put it in my Discord and have 6 divisions, or 6 spots. It's going to be a Bowman Chrome 2020 rip, so $35 a box. I'm going to charge $4 for shipping per person, so $3.50 for the actual shipping, and then 50 cents for the bubble mailer, penny sleeves, and top loaders to package the cards. So it's going to come out to about $11 per person. That comes out total $66. If you're in Canada, obviously I'm going to have to add more. It's about $8 more to ship to Canada, so it'd have to be $19, which kind of sucks, but I think we'll be able to fill it pretty quick, especially because my following on TikTok is a lot bigger than here. I think I'm up to 2,100 on TikTok, so I'm going to get into breaks. And the beautiful thing about breaks is I can still rip cards like normal, but I'm not losing money anymore, because if I'm ripping these boxes, and I'm buying cards for PC, and I'm trying to flip, like, all my money is just going down and nothing's bringing it back up. But I can still rip now and give you guys content and have the joy of ripping, but we can act like I can get some of the money back. Basically, I'm basically just ripping boxes for free, and other people get a better chance to get cards because it's a cheaper alternative than buying a box. And if you can't buy boxes in store, you're probably paying, I think those Bowman boxes are going for $50 right now on eBay. So yeah, but I think that's the plan. I'm going to have videos on how I'm looking for vintage cards. If you guys want anything with selling, let me know, because I will upload that, let you guys know how I sell, where I sell, anything like that. I'll also talk about the 5 players I'm investing in from each sport. And yeah, I'd say that's it. I'm not going to go on any longer because this has already been a little bit of a long video. I can see it's 11 minutes, which isn't bad, but it's not really an update. I just kind of wanted to show you guys I guess it is an update, but I wanted to show you my new philosophy on cards, because I know a lot of people are in the same position as me. You're spending too much on cards, and that's not even the big thing for me. I just want to be in a better position because it's kind of stressful with money while you're in college because I have no income. So I've been kind of just grinding out cards and living off that. But it's not like I'm in a bad situation. I just want to keep my money up, and also like have the cards be there, because I don't want to give up cards, because then that's literally my favorite hobby. So it's just trying to find a happy medium, and I think I've found that happy medium. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did find this helpful, I'm happy for you, because not a lot of people, I feel like, have a system like this, or if they do, they haven't talked about it. So I think this new system is going to be extremely helpful for me. So yeah, look forward to more videos coming. We're going to have more boxes to rip. Every single time I do a break on my TikTok, I will be recording with my camera so we can see everything I pull. So it's just like I'm ripping it myself, but other people are getting the cards. So it's a beautiful thing. Stay tuned for more videos, and I will see you guys in the next one.